Russia, Dia, about to see 1 million dirhams worth of what? You're gonna see right now. Come check it out. So, what's the name of the supplier?
Their name is the Deep Seafood.
The Deep Seafood? After you, man.
They are the biggest seafood importer in the country.
Okay. And wait, before you look, this is crazy. This is crazy. 1 million dirhams worth of all different types of lobsters. So right here we have what, Marcel? Australian?
This is the Australian, this is Southern Australian lobster.
So Southern Australian lobster, you can see all of them are alive. So they actually have to bring these lobsters by ship or by plane from their country of origin in a completely regulated system in order for them to be alive and then obviously go.
This came on a business class.
Yeah, this guy was on business class. This was first class. This guy was on eco. You can see he's all scrunched up. So they have how many different types of lobsters in this facility?
They have 3 different types of lobster.
So we have the Australian.
So Southern Australian lobster.
And this?
This is the live Canadian lobster.
Canadian lobster. So like in the US, when you see red lobster and when you're on, you see these claws. So these are the claws. And there's a lot of meat in these claws, and that's why people like it, right?
And the tail.
And the tail. And you said you prefer this one, right?
Yeah.
So Marcel prefers this type of lobster because you think it's less chewy.
Less chewy and more meaty.
But what's interesting is, wait, how much? The Australian is 250 dirhams per kilo, right? And then this is
110.
But it changes, right? What did you tell me?
It can reach up to 180 dirhams in its off season.
Because when the lobster, so Oman, which is a country which is right next to the UAE, also has amazing lobsters, but only during season.
Yeah, which is a variant of rock lobster.
So it's a similar, the ones in Oman are similar to this and not this.
Not this.
So then the supply of this comes down with a cheaper price and then this one goes up.
Goes up, yeah.
It's interesting to look at like the supply chain and how prices are affected between demand and supply.
Exactly.
And you're an expert in this.
And the reason why the Omani lobster is cheaper because there are less logistics.
Exactly.
Comes by land.
And they come by sea or by land?
The Omani lobster either by sea or by land. It's a very short trip. If it's by land, it's like 3 to 4 hours. By sea, it's a couple of hours. And it doesn't require refrigerating. And
much easier.
It's much easier.
Now, what is this?
This is the Russian king crab.
Russian king crab. Like you, half Russian.
Yeah.
Are you the king crab?
I am. So this king crab, it comes from
Look at how enormous this is.
From the Far East, from an island called Kamchatka. And it's only available...
It's seasonal?
Yeah, because the water gets...
Look at my hand, look. Why? Why is it only seasonal?
Because the whole ocean freezes for almost 6 months.
So you can't actually get them?
Yeah.
And how cold is that? Super cold. So they have to regulate the temperature in here in order for these guys to stay alive, huh?
The water temperature is about 5 degrees Celsius.
Okay. And then you have 2 more variants, right? We have the rock crab. Can that guy help us get the rock crab?
Yeah.
All right. So these are rock crabs.
This crab.
I don't know. When I think of rock crab, I think of rock shrimp tempura and Zuma, right? I think I've seen rock lobster before. This gentleman here is going to help us. He is not fearful at all of any kind of shellfish. Look at this guy. He's ready to just jump in and start swimming if it wasn't that cold. Give him a wetsuit. He's on it. Oh, wow. That one is maybe the most beautiful one.
Yeah.
Damn. That is a beautiful, beautiful specimen. Look. Man, it almost looks like it's plastic or fake, right?
Yeah.
It's like too perfect. It doesn't have claws?
No.
They don't have claws?
The rock lobster don't have claws.
So rock lobster doesn't have claws. Look at that tummy. Ooh,
But
that's
it
so
has
soft.
a bigger tail.
It has a bigger tail, so there's more juice, more meat.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's more meat here. You can see its little fins and everything. And all of them are not farmed, right?
Yeah,
they're farmed or they're all wild. Different types of shellfish that they have here are all completely wild, and that's why they're so expensive. One of these can cost how much? One of these can cost 275 per kilo, and how many kilos is there? Like 1.1, 1.3, so that's around 500 dirhams cost price. Now, if you're in a restaurant or you're eating in a high-end place, obviously they need to take this, they need to clean it. Don't forget, you're buying 1 kilo, not all of it is usable.
The yield is like 30%.
Yeah, the yield is only 30% from this whole animal. So you need to take that into consideration when you're spending 500 dirhams on a lobster dish at Petit Maison or I don't know where. Now there's one more type of shellfish that we want to look at. And this is only the Russian bear can deal with this kind of crab. he goes to me, they're really active and really aggressive. And that is the Kenyan mud crab. So now you might be asking why this crab isn't in water. And the reason is
They live in mud in Kenya. They don't live in water.
so they're actually a different color and they're kept dry, right?
And actually, most of the farmers, they are missing fingers in their hands.
Because they're so
They have
aggressive.
to dig their hand
catch
inside the
them.
mud to catch them.
To catch these particular crabs, you actually have to dig in the mud and honestly, like they had this on them. Look, they are tied up, but a lot of them were able to break it because they're so strong. These crabs are so much stronger. I mean, how do they transport this? Like, I mean, how many days can it last?
Can last for a week.
Can last for a week. So this has only
No
come
food, no mud, nothing.
by plane.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. I mean, yeah, they're completely different color. They look completely different. And you see these crabs when you go to like some different places on holiday, etc. You can see them playing in the mud, playing in the sand and all of that. Marcel loves mud crabs. So when you ask him what's more interesting, he says mud crab twice.
For me, I always prefer lobsters. Look.
So these are the Australian lobster, right?
Yeah.
Now everybody who buys them, they buy them alive and they put them in the restaurant, or some of them, like they deliver them dead, or how does it work?
So they either buy them live, which is the most expensive.
Yeah.
Then there is the chilled one.
But they supply the chilled one also.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cheapest one is the frozen one.
Yeah, obviously.
Because,
And they freeze as well here?
yeah, but...
Or it would have been frozen, it would have been frozen in point of origin, right?
It's frozen, and it can be frozen and split it.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So yeah, there you have it. How would you think in the middle of the desert in Dubai and Rashidia that there's $1 million dirhams worth of living shellfish? That's just to show you how amazing the supply chain is in the UAE. And honestly, I've traveled a lot the past 5 years. The food in the UAE has become some of the freshest food just because they understand how to do their supply chain properly. They obviously have an amazing airline like Emirates, which flies all over the world, so it's easy to fly anything in. They also have an amazing port, so yeah. And they have Marcel, the Russian bear. See you guys next time. Take it easy. Like and subscribe.